Good evening once again, United Hearth League. What is up? My name is Cinder. You are watching yet another match for United Hearth League UHL Season 2. I am joined to my left by the only six-legged flying water buffalo still playing Hearthstone. It's Appa. What's up, man?
Is that accurate? It's only
Um,
six. I wonder if there's any other fictitious six-legged flying water buffalo
I don't
that
know.
somebody like has as a handle.
I, I mean, how many of those are there in the Airbender universe?
Quite a bit actually.
Oh,
I
are
don't
they?
remember all their names though. Yeah, there were a bunch. The Air Temple, but I don't know if they had names. I think they were just like Flying Bison number 12.
Yeah, right on. Well, at least they were acknowledged by the staff. But we're not watching The Last Airbender, which is an excellent program. We are watching United Hearth League match number 3 for this week, I believe. We have on cue tonight. Check this out. It's the dreaded Breezy versus the one and only badass woman of Hearthstone, Toast the Badger. I'm super excited for this one, Appa. We're not even to the rules yet, and I'm just like chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. I've followed Toast for quite a while. I don't know as much about Breezy,
Hmm.
granted, but Toast has been a good Twitter friend for a while, so I'm excited to get to watch her play. Last time I watched her play in a tournament was it the ESL Women's Division?
Yeah, she was. Well, she was in the World Esports Games where she finished quite high,
Oh, that's
actually.
that's what it was. It was
Yeah.
WSG. That's what it was.
Hmm.
Wasn't
Hmm.
ESL.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did pretty well there, and it was really entertaining to watch her play. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to be able to cast this time.
Yeah. This one's gonna be super legit, and you can see matches like this all the time on UHL. Practically a match a week with your favorite content creators and community members right here on this Twitch channel. So follow this channel, follow the players. So that you know when they're going to play their matches and get caught up. Let's talk about the format a little bit. For the new people who haven't seen it before, UHL has a unique format. The league members play a series of 9 matches over the course of the league, and they have to play each deck, each class once during a 3 week rotation. So in week 1, if you take Druid, Hunter, Priest, for weeks 2 and 3, those 3 classes are no longer available to you. They have to play with the 3 of the remaining 6 in week 2, and then the last 3 in week 3. So there's a level of strategy that they have to consider when making their lineups because they may get some really bad matchups down in the later weeks when they start running out of decks to choose from, if they can foresee what their opponent will bring. So it's a very strategic lineup building format, and it is best of 5 conquest every week, 1 match a week. And for this week, Appa, for Toast versus Breezy, what are the decks that we have lined up?
So we have the deck list for Toast, but not for Breezy.
Hmm.
We do have classes for Breezy. He's bringing Druid, Paladin, and Rogue. And the Druid could be either Taunt Druid or the Spiteful Summoner Druid that's been showing a lot of promise on ladder.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Paladin, which could be a variety of different things. It could be Murloc Paladin, Baku Paladin, or Gen Paladin. All of them are fairly strong. And then we have Rogue, which could be Quest or the Baku Odd Tempo Rogue, which has been also showing some promise on ladder. And then for Toast, she's bringing Face Hunter, Quest Warrior, and Tempo Mage with double Vex Crows. So I'm really hyped to watch this Tempo Mage play out because I really like how Vex Crow plays. It seems really slow, but once you start getting the swing turns going, it really starts snowballing.
Yeah, the Vex Crow feels a lot like a more powered up version of the Violet Teacher, where instead of kicking out 1/1 tokens, you're kicking out 2 drops, which is great as long as you don't hit a Doomsayer, which I've already had happen to me once. So it will happen. But yeah, like just a ton of tempo. If you think your opponent can't clear it, it's gonna be a really tough time for them to deal with all those 2 drops that spawn out. I mean, we remember those of us who've been in the game for a while remember Piloted Shredder, and that was just one extra 2 drop. And that
Yeah,
was
Vex Crow, it functions in the list like similar to how Flamewaker did in that it gives you a benefit for all the cheap spells that you just like end up in your hand because you're running like arcane missiles and just really low impact spells later on in the game, and it turns all of those into that spell plus a 2-drop.
Yeah, good stuff. So even though we don't know exactly what archetypes Breezy has on queue, do we have an idea maybe of how this matchup is going to go based on the classes?
Well, this one's a little interesting because I think it's going to come down to whether Toast can eke out a win with Face Hunter,
Mm-hmm.
because the stats on Face Hunter aren't very good for it, but it can cheese out some matchups just because of how fast and unforgiving it is. So it's really going to come down to whether Toast can either get a favored matchup or if she can cheese out a win against an unfavored matchup. And if Breezy's bringing something like Quest Rogue and Spiteful Druid, the Face Hunter might have a chance. But if he's bringing decks like Baku Tempo Rogue and Taunt Druid, then the Face Hunter is going to really struggle.
Yeah, we've seen Hunter struggle already in some of the stream matches that we've seen just last week. So yeah, it's going to be the trick. And this isn't like a Baku Hunter, right? This is just like straight up Face Hunter?
I believe it's Baku.
Oh, is it
Hunter.
Baku? Okay. Well, that is still a pretty facey Face Hunter deck.
Yeah, definitely. It tries to take control of the board in the first 2 turns, and then after that, it's just planning on pressing the hero power every turn. Yeah, it's a Baku Hunter list. It is not a list. There's a little bit of flexibility in the 1-drops in the Baku list. Some decks run Leper Gnome and Elven Archer, but Toast has shied away from that. She's using Argent Squire, Acarus Veteran. Is that how you pronounce that?
I believe so. Acarus Veteran, yeah.
Acarus Veteran. So that gives her a little bit more game against the decks like Paladin. She's also running 2 copies of Firefly, which you run those if you're planning on playing against more minion-based strategies to kind of secure a board a little more consistently in the early turns, and then transition that to your 3-drops and hero power moving forward. So that actually bodes well for her here against the Paladin decks that because all of them are minion-based mid-range strategies pretty much. And then if it's an odd rogue, the Baku rogue, it'll help her out there.
And I do think that the inclusion of Quest Warrior here is going to do super well against Breezy's lineup against both the Rogue and the Paladin. If they are, the typical Rogue and Paladin decks we've been seeing, all those Whirlwinds and Taunts do quite a bit of work.
Yeah, the Quest Warrior, depending on if it's not Quest Rogue and it's the Baku Rogue, it'll be very good against 2 out of the 3 decks. I think it has a fairly poor matchup against both variations of Druid, although don't quote me on that. I think it's not great against Spiteful just because of the nature of the Spiteful decks. And then it's not great against Taunt Druid because they have so much value over the course of a game.
All right, and it looks like they've actually gotten right into it. Toast is already on turn 3 and Breezy on turn 4 here. Toast has queued up that Tempo Mage, and Breezy is on a Murloc Paladin. So yeah, he's gotten the news that Murloc Paladin is still really good, despite losing some of its tools from the Paladin class, like the Vilethin Inquisitor. And folks, already Toast is not off to a great start here. That opening hand looked like it might have been a bit awkward, and she has absolutely lost the board, and Breezy has seized it with several minions.
Yeah, we'll probably see this matchup a little bit during the rest of the season. And how this kind of plays out is the Tempo Mage, unless it has a really, really good opening start, it'll lose the board fairly quickly and have to fight from behind. And all of its, like, very few of its cards are actually effective at fighting from behind. They usually want to get on the board first and leverage that advantage.
Toast had to expend a Fireball just to try and get that Wind-Furied War Leader off the board, but Breezy able to follow up with a Fungal Mancer. for 12 more damage. Toast already down to 5. Gonna be leaning on this Vex Crow to hope to catch up here.
Yeah, this mirror image might actually do a little bit of work because it'll stem the bleeding a little bit. Oh my goodness,
Lore
Walker Cho. That is not a good roll on Vex Crow.
Gonna hand Breezy a missiles, and Toast is gonna cough it up. Oh my goodness.
Just the instant concede.
We didn't see much of that match, but that was about as good a start as you can ask for in a Murloc Paladin deck, Appa. That was something.
Yeah, he got the Windfury and the War Leader, which presented enough of the threat. It drew out a Fireball, which is extremely mana inefficient from the Tempo Mage side. And
yeah,
he got to leverage his board position there. Like, that's how you'll probably see the matchup play out a lot of the time, unless the Tempo Mage has a Mana Worm into a few cheap spells kind of start.
Yeah, no Frostbolt available in her hand at the time. She would have had to try and roll something off a Primordial Glyph, which is pretty chancy. And she took the guaranteed removal, but it was not enough. But we're now going to see that Baku Hunter versus Breezy's Druid. And let's see. That looks like a spiteful build to me, Appa.
Yeah, so this is a lot more manageable from the Face Hunter side with Spiteful Druid. Against Taunt Druid, you really have very little chance as the Baku Hunter, because they just start throwing taunts down every turn, like after turn 3.
Ooh.
But oh wow, this is actually a fantastic hand for Breezy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the density of taunts in Spiteful Druid's deck is much lower, but he has 3 of his best taunts, his best cards in the Druid of the Scythes and the Tar Creeper.
And the Spiteful Summoner just comes off the top for Breezy, so that's ready for him when it gets to turn 6 or 5 with the coin. Toast starting the game with Baku in hand. That's rough, but she did top deck the Dire Mole to be able to get down a durable minion for this Acarus veteran and start getting that clock set up, Alpha.
Yeah, Breezy is going to look to play this game by playing a taunt every turn up until that Spiteful turn, where he can push out a big minion plus the 4/4 and really turn the corner in the race.
Toast does have the Ironbeak Owl available to silence any of these taunts that pop up, but only one. So she's going to have to decide carefully if she wants to hit it now or later, and it looks like it's a now. Just going to start accelerating that clock as much as she can.
Yeah, I like this play from Toast because of how few taunts the Spiteful Druid actually has, but she's going to get punished because Breezy has the 2 Druid of the Scythe that are going to be 2/4 taunts in his hand. She's down a very important resource in that battle, which is a silence.
And yeah, the taunts are in hand, and Breezy could utilize them here, but Keleseth also came into hand, which is tempting. But Breezy opting for a hero power here, being a little more card efficient, and just plays out the Firefly, which does not contest the Dire Mole, but at least it is another body.
Yeah, I think this plays fine because the 2/4 and the Dire Mole just directly challenge the 2/4 Druid of the Scythe. So I think just using your hero power, you're taking a little bit of chip damage there, but that's not really how this matchup ends. Because he's going to be able to swing the board on turn 6 very easily with the Spiteful, and he's going to have pretty much guaranteed cushion in his life total with these 2 Druids. Yep. So I like hero powering, taking out the 2 on there.
Another taunt coming into the hand for Breezy with the Crypt Lord after Toast goes fishing for another second animal companion. But the Misha just gets traded away immediately, and Breezy's starting to take a lead on the board now.
Yeah, this is what we're seeing right now is just Hunter falling behind on board, and it can't really leverage its hero power as effectively as it wants to. It wants to be ahead on board and then use its hero power to close the game. When it's behind like this, the hero power, it deals 3, but the Druid's not facing down a very threatening board right now, so it's not as scary as if Toast had a board full of minions and was pressing the hero power every turn.
And Breezy has plenty of minion advantage here and able to trade away yet another Misha. And the Dire Mole goes down as well. Keleseth now joining that 1/1 Tar Creeper to secure the board.
I like that play a lot from him, too. A lot of what I see people make mistakes with these sort of flexible cards, like Druid of the Scythe, is just putting them in taunt mode 100% of the time against the aggressive decks, whereas that would have actually effectively dealt more damage to him over the next couple turns instead of just actively trading off with the Misha with the rush side of it.
And despite Breezy maintaining a control over the board this entire game almost, he is down to 13 health already thanks to that upgraded hero power. The 2 Crypt Lords, though, are going to look to put a stop to that, and Leroy Jenkins not the top deck that Toast wants in this situation.
Yeah, she's really looking for another copy of Ironbeak Owl or another powerful 3-drop to sort of contest the board. Leroy's kind of stranded in hand right now because she can play it and kill this Crypt Lord, but it's just going to die to the 1/1 Whelp that it summons, and that's not a very good trade.
Yeah, and actually, because it summons the Whelps, I don't even think that Leroy would cleanly trade away the Crypt Lord.
Oh, because it's going to buff the Crypt Lord.
Now, behind them... Oh, my goodness. All right. Thanks, Taylor.
Oh, that was my washing machine.
Oh, wow. Fix that restraining bolt, buddy. The Crypt Lords, though, get powered up, and behind that taunt wall, Spiteful Summoner pulling out Emerus for the 8/8. This does not look good for Toast, Appa.
Yeah, Breezy has everything he wants here. He has the 2 taunt walls and the Crypt Lords, and he has the ability to close out this game in 2 turns with the 8/8 and the 4/4. So this one's looking pretty grim for Toast. She's going to need to top deck some... I don't even know what she can top deck here, really.
Kill commands would give her the option. That would give her 8 damage in hand.
Oh, that's true. So she's going to need exactly Kill Command to win this one, huh?
Yep, because nothing else will break through those taunts. Arcane Shot would not be enough damage. So yeah, she'll need the 3 from a Kill Command, 3 from the Hero Power, and 2 from Arcane Shot would do it. But she needs it right now or nothing. That's not it.
Oh, man. Unleash would be great if this 2/11 Crypt Lord wasn't in the way.
Man, oh man. Yeah. Unfortunate top deck there for Toast. Breezy really did have a fantastic hands.
Oh, yeah.
For that game.
This matchup, while it's not in the Hunter's favor statistically, I think it's slightly in the Druid's favor. It can go the way of the Hunter if the Druid has a clunky hand, but Breezy had access to all of the resources pretty much that he needed in that game.
Yeah, Spiteful Druid, just by nature of the build, since it only runs the one spell, Ultimate Infestation, doesn't really have a way to fight back on the board, so if the opponent gets a lead on it, it's very difficult for it to catch up. But now Breezy's down to just the Rogue. Well, so far... Not seeing a strong indication of what archetype that is, but Toast is going to queue up the Mage, which I think in most situations is a pretty good matchup against Rogues. Toast coming into an Arcane Missiles off the top. She's going to hold it for the Vex Crow probably later on. Arcanologist is a fair 2-play. We'll get her a Secret and a 2/3 body. No immediate 1-play for Breezy, though he may go for the Hallucination here, just to get another card in hand and not waste a mana. And Appa's mic has died. Check your connections, brother. Oh, there we go. Wait. You're back. Okay, there we are.
Okay, cool. So the Rogue has kind of a slow start. That's exactly the kind of hand that Tempo Mage can capitalize on when it has a few turns in the early game to develop and leverage its board position. It can really take control of the game.
Yeah, Blink Fox coming down to challenge that Arcanologist and picks up an Arcane Intellect. Excellent pull off the Blink Fox. Explosive Rune's going to start to develop a little bit of damage for Toast and try to keep the board under control. Shadow Step for Breezy is the second one in the deck, so it's got some options. He does have the SI7.
These Shadow Steps are going to be important for proccing Counterspell and for making important swing turns in the mid-game.
Indeed. That is that Aragol that's hiding there in the middle of Breeze's hand? I believe it is.
Yep, that is Archmage Aragol.
Blink
Fox makes for some interesting game states, that's for sure.
Well, Aragol doesn't live, and 4 of those Explosive Runes damage goes to the face. Hero Power is going to pick off the Blink Fox, but no development besides that for Toast. She's going to have to wait for a bigger turn.
Yeah, depending on how greedy she wants to get, she can either Vex Crow and play a spell next turn, or wait until turn 6 to play Vex Crow plus 2 cheap spells. And since Breezy's taking this turn off of development to draw 2 cards, she might be inclined to wait another turn to get maximum value. And that Arcane Intellect even makes it more appealing to take this turn off to draw, sculpt your hand, and
great pickups too. A Mana Worm is very welcome behind that Mirror Image if she wants to use it, and Alaneth for refill later on.
The Mirror Image looks somewhat appealing right there behind the Mana Worm, but I think it's far more important to get a 2-drop off of it, off the Vex Crow.
Backstab SI7.
Wow. He uses up the SI on this Mana Worm too. This Vex Crow's going to be a little bit difficult to deal with now that Breezy's used up his quote unquote hard removal on the Mana Worm.
Yeah.
Really has the sap to deal with this Vex Crow.
Yeah, those the backstab SI7 would have been a perfect answer to the Mirror Image. So Hydrologist is a fine roll on a 2/2. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow. Well, Thalnos comes down to offer some spell damage, but at least not for this turn, but for next turn. Breezy, no hard answer for this in turn. Like, as you said, just sap is available, but that's it.
He'll probably need to sap this. He would like to play. He could double Shadow Step this SI, I guess.
Yeah.
Just maximize the use of your Shadow Steps because they're kind of clunky because all of his minions are so expensive in his hand right now. But Toast also gets to develop this Alaneth next turn if she wants to.
Yeah.
And this Blood Mage Thalnos was such a good roll for her.
Yeah, it was. And even though that was a partial clear for Breezy, that cost him a lot of cards. He does have the Auctioneer in hand, so this is almost certainly a Miracle build.
It looks like a Miracle-style rogue deck.
Cinderstorm mostly going to face, though. I think that's exactly what Toast wanted in this position. She's holding a total of 15 damage in her hand. She could just start sending all this downtown.
Yeah, I like this. She's focusing on what's important right now, which is pushing face damage because of how burn heavy her hand is. And like this Alaneth is really important. Rogue traditionally doesn't have very much healing in their builds, and I would kind of hazard a guess that Breezy is not running any. Because,
probably not.
Yeah, the Miracle builds right now don't really run any healing.
Yeah.
So all this damage is gonna stick on Breezy.
And Breezy, having expended his backstabs and shadow steps handling the Vex Crow plays, has no way to refill by way of that Auctioneer. He has to go for some very clunky plays here to try to keep the pressure off, and then the second Auctioneer comes in. That's not what he wants.
Oh wow, that's going to be lethal.
This is it.
This Fireball, Frostbolt, this Thalnos really put in some work off this Vex Crow.
And just like that, Toast finds a way to stay in this series. 2-1 lead for Breezy, but Toast is fighting back now. The Hunter and the Warrior still have yet to find a win, and Breezy's going to be stuck on this rogue.
So this rogue is probably the best kind of rogue she could see, because it has a fairly, I wouldn't say poor, but it's not great against the Hunter, because like we said, they run no healing. And while Miracle builds are traditionally favored against control decks, like the Quest Warrior, it's definitely doable for the Quest Warrior, as opposed to if it was a Quest Rogue, the Warrior would have almost no chance.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of game in these like next two matchups. So I think she's really happy to see that it was the Miracle Rogue as opposed to a Baku or a Quest Rogue.
And she is going to start with the Quest, and she's running the Baku variant. So no access to Warpath, no access to Slam, no access to Execute. This is a tricky deck to play. I've played it myself, but it is very powerful, especially in combination with that tank up hero power.
Yes, and the Rogue deck has somewhat limited damage, and tanking up past a certain point really gives you a solid cushion to kind of develop your game plan and really look for that removal that you really need against the Auctioneer turns and the Feldari Striders whenever they start pulling out the spiders. This tank up really helps quite a bit.
Yeah, and the hallucination offering some very interesting things once again. There was a Geosculptor Yip, an unidentified shield, and a Woe Cleaver. Breezy goes with the shield, although the roll is for the 5/5 Golem, which I think is very important in this matchup because that's another threat that Breezy can develop that he may not have had access to.
Yeah, I think he had a 50-50 chance there to get something he was happy with. The 5/2 weapon would be a little bit awkward just because of the rogue hero power, although he wouldn't be unhappy with it. But the 5/5 Golem and the 5 damage would be what he was looking for, and he got the 5/5 Golem. And Toast finds another Direhorn hatchling off of the...
Three of them in hand. I love it. And the Faldorei Strider is a little slow, and it's going to be a while before Breezy can realize those spiders, and that'll give Toast time to find brawls to handle it. And coining out the first Direhorn hatchling gets her on the board.
And this taunt wall she's going to be putting up over the next few turns is not insignificant, because Breezy is going to have to break through these taunts because he does deal damage just via combat. So he's going to need to break through these taunts to gain access to Toast's face.
And Breezy, seeing that he really needs to be able to play a threat this turn, in addition to this Faldorei Strider, has to prep in order to get the combo activator on the Vilespine Slayer. That is
oh gosh, I'm not sure how I feel about this one. I think if I was going to prep anything, I would prep a sap on that and then Elven Minstrel to make my hand a little better moving forward. It feels like he just kind of threw away a prep to deal with a 3/6.
I think he was thinking about using the shield and then second guessed it. Now this is interesting too. A sap being delivered on the Direhorn hatchling does not hard remove it, so Toast gets that as another quest prop in her hand.
The thing about this Reckless Fury in her hand, or this Reckless Flurry in her hand, is that it's basically an on-demand board clear with her hero power. Because everything is 4 toughness and below for the most part, and it looks like that's what she's going to go for.
Yeah, and then gets a Town Crier for a card draw on top of it.
Yeah, so she's definitely fighting the good fight here.
The inclusion of the Rush minions is super interesting in this deck. You don't usually see Taunt Warrior with the Rush minions, except for maybe Crowley. But this is Baku, so you have to utilize those odd-numbered mana.
In the Baku versions, you have started to see a Rush package of the Rabid Worgen, Adarius Crowley, and the Town Criers to make your matchup just against various things a little bit better. It just helps you smooth out your curve when you're moving into the mid game, and the Rush minions have some good applications overall.
Yep, the Faldorei Strider, the second one, putting now more spiders into the deck. SI7 cleans up the Town Crier, but another Direhorn hatchling deployed for Toast to block yet more damage, and no hard removal remaining in Breezy's hand. He's going to have to deal with this honestly.
Breezy's hand is very awkward too. He has this Gadgetzan Auctioneer, which is a really power reload tool, but he doesn't have anything to go with it. So he can't really utilize it right now.
Yeah, this the shield is it's nice to have that 5/5 available, but for 6 mana, it's quite clunky for rogues. And once again, just as in the last game, Breezy had Auctioneers in hand, but no spells to activate them with. So finally picking up a spell with the upgrade, which actually is quite nice with the rogue hero power.
Yeah, I think if I was Breezy, I would hero power, play this Van Cleef as a 4/4, just to not get too greedy, and just take out this Direhorn hatchling with the SI and the Faldorei Strider. The next turn, we can go into Gadgetzan upgrade turn, draw a card off this upgrade, potentially get more cheap spells, and start moving forward from there. But it looks like he's going with the Elven Minstrel.
Well, the that second Vilespine Slayer is certainly what he wanted to see, because more big taunts in the way of the face is problematic. Whirlwind going to clean off a little bit of the board here, and she is going to go for another Direhorn hatchling.
I definitely like going for this hatchling here. You really want to put more taunts in the way, pad your life total as much as possible, and start racing towards that quest, because that is how you close out the game, is by the quest.
Top
man,
deck Sonya's Shadow
off the
Dancer.
top.
This is a great development for Breezy, although does not trade.
That surprises me. He played one of his most prized resources in the Sonya and then didn't capitalize on it with the Minstrel and the Blink Fox.
Now that's going to get punished with the Worgen with the Rush, the Rabid Worgen, and the Direhorn Matriarch comes down to put a huge roadblock up. I think Breezy might have been a little bit premature with that with that Vilespine Slayer.
Yeah, he's used both saps and both Vilespines, right?
Yes, one sap at the very least.
Both Vilespines for sure, and definitely a sap. So he's going to have a really hard time breaking through this Matriarch, honestly.
Yep, and no Shadow Step available either, so Vilespine cannot come back to hand just yet. Backstab, though, going to give him a card draw off the Auctioneer. Blink Fox, probably not what he's looking for. Upgrade. He upgraded minus the hero power because he just wanted to save the mana. There's the second sap, though.
Yeah, this sap's going to allow him to push some damage to the face. It's not clear if he wants to just trade off with his minions. It looks like that's what he's going to do and save the sap for another taunt.
Van Cleef comes down as an 8/8. Toast not having a way to answer that cleanly, although she could do it with a combination of the Rabid Worgen and the Shield Slam off of the hero power. Reckless Flurry also a possibility.
This board's a little awkward for Toast because she wants to get rid of pretty much all of these minions, but she's going to have to expend a few resources to do so.
Yep. Decides to go ahead with the Worgen as the last part of that removal plan. It's a full clear, but Toast starting to run out of resources now, and Breezy can refill just a little bit. Valkyr Soul Claimer, possibly the first time has ever been played and constructed.
I am definitely seeing some cards I did not think I would see tonight because of this Blink Fox.
Yep.
Now Toast has to deal with this other Auctioneer, but she does have the Shield Slam for it.
Yep.
So what I would like to see her do is War Axe, kill the Blink Fox, Shield Slam, or tank up and Shield Slam the Auctioneer, just to have a clean board and develop the weapon. But looks like she's thinking about this Elise.
Yeah, I think she has to probably consider the possibility of Cold Blood in this deck, although she hasn't seen any indication that he runs it. So maybe not in the forefront of her mind. She's going to try and challenge the Blink Fox instead. Although Breezy does not have Cold Blood in hand. Though Leroy is there, Toast still at 26 life, effectively.
Yeah, this is what the tank up hero power does. Breezy has this inherent card advantage that he's gotten from the Auctioneer and a little bit of burst damage in hand, but Toast has gained 4 armor for like the past few turns, so she's kept her life total really high, which makes the Rogue kind of struggle to close out these games. I think he's really going to rely on these Faldori Spiders to come off the top pretty soon and kind of give him a little bit of better board position, because his hand is kind of clunky right now, honestly.
Yeah, he's drawing a card with Fan of Knives. 3 mana draw 1. That's all he has access to.
Backstab is not what he wanted to see there. He really wants to see some solid minion to stick on the board and provide some pressure.
Yeah, the Rune Shield finally going to make that happen. It's a 5/5, but that's all it accounts for. Toast now able to draw cards here. Ooh, the Matriarch.
Wow, picks up the Matriarch number 2. This allows her to complete the quest too. I would like to see her just equip Sulfuras and start getting to work with the quest.
Yeah, Breezy has, and she's going for it. Breezy has played quite a number of threats. I think Toast got the signal that unidentified.
Oh, it hits the 5/5, so this is
amazing.
going to clear the way for Toast to start cleaning up this game.
Oh wow, and yeah, I think that shield play told her that he doesn't have any more threats, so she can just start pounding away with Sulfura shots, and that 6/9 Direhorn ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Breezy, no real threats to play here.
We see Breezy scrolling through the cards in his hand, and I'm sure something that's going on in his mind is, how the hell do I deal with this situation?
Like,
I'm behind on board. I'm behind in a life total race. I have to use this Leroy to clear this matriarch, or to push 6, sap this matriarch. He's not in a great spot right now.
No, the Whelp's gonna just go ahead and actually clean off Leroy, which doesn't happen very often.
He might be thinking about backstabbing and daggering these Whelps and trying to get there off this Leroy.
Oh, the Valkyr Soul Claimer got played. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness. So I think what Toast is going to look for is to clear the 1/4 with their hero power, hit in the Leroy with the 1/1, and then Acolyte Whirlwind to draw a card, guarantee she has the board. Breezy only has 2 cards at this point. He's used his Leroy, so I'm sure she's not very scared right now of what he has in his hand.
Yep,
I think if she's really reading his hand a little bit, she probably sees that he has a fairly clunky cards in his hand right now.
Phantom Militia, a welcome addition to the hand. She'll be able to play 2 or 3 of those via the Echo if she wants. But 1's good enough. 19 health still, a Breezy just now seeing some of those spiders coming out of the deck. He is for sure happy to see that, but Toast picked up a Brawl off of the Acolyte draw. And Breezy's going to give him another.
So bad that he's Phantom Kniving into an Acolyte of Pain.
Just trying desperately to get to those spiders, but the more come out, the more powerful that Brawl becomes, Appa. This might be 1 turn away here from Toast securing this with the War Axe.
This is the catch-22 against Taunt Druid. You want to build a wide board so their hero power doesn't hit you in the face for 8 every turn, but building a wide board just makes your Brawls so much better. So Toast, although Breezy thinks he's happy to see these spiders come out, Toast is probably more happy to see them because she can just deal with the remaining few threats that Breezy has in his deck at the same time as pushing 8 damage.
Yep, and there is enough mana available for a Brawl, an Axe, and a hero power, so this will give Toast a 50-50 to end the game on the spot.
And even if she doesn't end the game, she probably ends the game anyways, because she either hits face or she clears off the last minion.
Rag Shot hits the face, that's it!
Oh my goodness, that was very well played from Toast Sound. I think there were a few turns that I would have played differently as Breezy, but I think he had the general right idea of pushing damage with his minions on the board, kind of tempoing out Toast, but she just had the right answers at the right time, and she comes out with the win.
Toast navigating that expertly and brings this series back to a 2-2 tie. The winner of the next match of this Baku Hunter versus the Miracle Rogue is going to take the series. And Appa, what's the call here? Who is favored in this last Game 5?
Without seeing the stats, because I'm not sure about this matchup, I think I would favor the Hunter here.
Well, I have good news for you. You know I love Hunter, and I can tell you with a great deal of certainty that Face Hunter loves to see Miracle Rogue across the table.
Especially one that's as minion dense and as mid-game focused as this one. He has the Faldori Striders, he has the Blink Fox, he has the Shadow Dancer. So I think Toast is happy to see this.
Yeah, and Toast's hand is actually quite good.
Yeah, she has the 1-drop into the hero power, developing the Eaglehorn Bow on 3, and then from there she gets to push 3 with the hero power for the rest of the game pretty much if she wants to.
And on the
this is pretty much how you draw it up with Baku Hunter.
Yeah, and on the other side of the table, Breezy's hand is not very good. No SI7 available to help clean up these early minions. Single backstab, but nothing to pair it with aside from an Eviscerate. The minions are fairly clunky in this early state of the game.
Yeah, he has to coin out a Blink Fox here to even contest the board. Gives him a Hunter's Mark, which does pretty much nothing here against this deck. And his hand is looking so awkward, and Toast is looking very efficient at delivering this Face Hunter game plan.
And with 3 mana, Toast has to consider carefully how she expends this. Does have the kill command available if she wants to, but it's going to go ahead with the bow instead of the hero power to clean off the Blink Fox and protect her minion, because, yeah, she saw Breezy coin out a Blink Fox. She knows that there's nothing to challenge these 2 minions, and that's where she's going to get most of the damage.
Yeah, she's playing these turns very cleanly, considering her opponent's last plays and kind of making deductions based off of that, because she saw he coined out the Blink Fox, so that tells her that he doesn't have any better minions than that, and he desperately needs something on the board. So she's throwing away the 2 charges from the second candle shot to get this Eaglehorn bow on board and forcing Breezy to react. Now she's going in to her turn 4 with complete board control, and this is exactly what you want to see as this Hunter deck.
The Grievous Bite probably will help Breezy fight against this early minion pressure, but Toast picking up a Firefly, 2 more minions now being able to come down behind that Ballista shot. Breezy at turn 3 already at 18 life.
Oh man, doesn't play around the Grievous Bite. But, do you ever, that Firefly off the top is really good because it allows her to develop 2 minions worth of pressure, gives her this Firefly to stick on board, and then she gets to chip in for 1 point of damage over the next 2 turns because of it.
And because Breezy threw away his coin,
another Firefly.
Wow. Breezy threw away the coin, threw out the backstab already, so no way to combo out that SI7, has to rely on the dagger hits to clean up the board, which it's 1 point of damage a pop, but it's quite a lot when you're this low down already. 3 more minions down.
This is why this matchups can be good for Hunter, because Breezy is just treading water right here, struggling to clean up everything, and all the while, he's developed nothing, and he's at 12.
Like, his play here is probably Eviscerate SI7, which feels terrible.
Yeah, you Evisa 1-2, SI another one, dagger down the other. Then he just gets hit for 3 down to 8 next turn. And then he's just 2 turns away from lethal with his kill command in hand.
Yeah, it breeds
so
you down
I don't really see how he comes back from here, honestly.
Glacial Shard's a great top deck as well. That'll put the freeze on the 3/3. Keep it from challenging the 1/1. Says Breezy, you're gonna have to use your face to tank this.
Is this going to be the reverse sweep from Toast?
I think it is, because
with the Face Hunter closing out this series.
Even if the Glacial Shard is answered, this is lethal in Toast's hand. She's got 3 from the hero power, 3 from the kill command, and 1 from the candle shot.
That's it. This is lethal. Toast completes the reverse sweep, ending it with Face Hunter versus Miracle Rogue. That is not a matchup I expected to see when we decided to cast tonight.
Toast takes a second to count it up and make sure she has it all. She sees it. 7 damage on turn 7. We're done. Reverse sweep for Toast.
That was very well played from Toast, especially to keep a cool head after going down 0-2 in a very swift fashion, to come back and battle back against this Miracle Rogue in an arguably bad matchup with Baku Warrior and 2 fairly strong matchups with Tempo Mage and Face Hunter. So that was really impressive, honestly.
I would have to agree 100%. It looked quite grim. Those first 2 losses were very quick, and I could see anybody tilting off of the continent off of quick losses like that, but she kept her cool and fought back with some very well-navigated games to win 3 in a row and complete this reverse sweep. Count me impressed, Appa. I was already a Toast fan, and this only helps reinforce my fandom.
Yeah, this was definitely well played from her. One thing I did want to comment on that I saw is I'm not sure which player was doing it, either consciously or subconsciously, but they were both playing fairly quickly.
Yes.
And usually what that means is one player is playing quick and the other player subconsciously plays faster to catch up.
Yeah.
And I think it was Toast who was playing quick and Breezy who was kind of just subconsciously keeping pace. And what leads me to believe that was the case was that one turn where he prepped and then he was like, oh, wait. And he thought for a second.
Yeah.
He just started like taking his turn. So I think if Toast was doing that, if it was conscious, that's really good leveling. And if that was subconscious, it played into her favor, I think.
Yeah, you're right about that. I wonder if Toast wants to join us for a winner's interview. You want to ping her and see if she wants to jump into the Discord?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Just give me 1 second.
So, and while he's doing that, I want to shout out Nate Wolf HS. He is the man responsible for these beautiful overlays that you see in front of you. So last week we had a blue gradient, which was fine. But Nate Wolf is like, no, we can do way better. and he really stepped up to the plate and donated some of his time and talent to create these graphics for us. They are fantastic. I'm a graphics guy myself, and I'm more than happy to be sitting with my face behind this frame.
Cinder sent me some screenshots of the overlay before we started, and they look really great.
Yeah, they are straight fire. So yeah, go over to Twitter right now and follow Nate Wolf and thank him for making us look so doggone good for tonight's cast. And hopefully we'll have Toast momentarily.
Yeah, I'm adding her as a friend on Discord.
Oh yeah, you got to do all that. See, that's the fun thing about the first few days and weeks of the league is everyone getting all connected together. And,
yeah, we're still getting everything running smoothly.
So you know what happened at our house tonight, Appa? We built a rabbit hutch.
We built a rabbit hutch. That's awesome.
For the rabbit. We have a rabbit now. If you're new to my casting, I have a lot of animals.
He has about 50 fur children.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Here.
Oh well, we sort of have Appa. Appa, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. Do we have toast?
All right, cool.
You have toast.
Toast. Oh my goodness.
Hi, boys.
Reverse sweep toast. Tell me what's on your mind.
Did you guys seriously fucking doubt me?
No, never.
A question.
No, I saw those lineups, those decks that are lined up against that rogue, and I said, I don't know. I think she's got a good chance here. But no, what's your feeling in your gut after completing a reverse sweep, which is pretty difficult.
After I lost the first 2 games, I got really pissed off. And when you piss me off, then I actually focus harder than anyone has ever focused. So Breezy was kind of screwed when I got mad about it.
Honey Badger don't care.
He put up a really good Murloc Paladin, but yeah, I think he just got unlucky with that rogue and wasn't the best against my 3 decks.
Yeah, the Taunt Warrior and the Baku Hunter both line up really well against Miracle Rogue for sure. So what were your thoughts behind your lineup this week?
Oh man, this is going to make me sound terrible, but I knew next week I was facing Rod Johnson, and I know Rod realistically has a chance to beat the shit out of me. So I chose the 3 strongest classes for him next week, and then just played what I had left. Not that, Warrior, Mage, and Hunter aren't strong, but I just wanted to save my really good classes so I didn't get 3-0'd next week.
Well,
oh my goodness.
It
definitely paid off. Yeah.
And this is something we talk about a lot on the cast is the lineup strategy for UHL. You have to consider what you're playing next week as well, and that has a lot of effect on what you play in the current week. And is there anything that led you towards the archetypes? Hunter is kind of a little bit one-dimensional, but Quest versus Rush, was Rush ever a consideration?
No.
Fair enough. It's an answer I like.
Let's see. Let's pull up some trackers here. Let's just load it up. Yeah, with Taunt Warrior, I'm sitting at a 70% win rate. Why would I play anything else?
Ooh, very nice. So, and you like the Baku over just the regular Quest Warrior?
I just picked the first list that looked good, and it worked, and I stuck with it. I don't really put all this thought into things like some people do, that should I do this or that. If I see a list that looks interesting and I win with it, I just stick with it.
That's good. One thing I'm guilty of is trying to min-max my deck lists, and I just spend too much time just fretting and fussing over the last 3 cards or something, instead of just practicing a solid deck and getting good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this list has worked well for me on ladders, so I saw no reason to change it.
One thing I did notice in the match is whenever he brought the Miracle Rogue, I said to Cinder, I think Toast is happy to see this as opposed to either Quest or the Odd Rogue, because Quest would mean that your Baku Warrior gets farmed, And then Odd Rogue means that the Face Hunter is a hard matchup. But the Miracle Rogue means that both decks have a solid chance.
Yeah, and you know what? I am like the one person on NA ladder that has not faced Quest Rogue at all.
Oh my
I
goodness.
have not faced one game of it, so I was really happy to not see that because I don't have any practice against it.
It's not a fun experience as a taunt
I know.
warrior. One other thing I noticed too that I commented on after the match was both of you were playing fairly quickly. Is that something you usually do?
I'm always known for playing way too fast. Anyone that's helped me with line or with tournament prep for DreamHack or anything like that, they just yell at me because I play way too fast. But it's just how comfortable I am. I can sit there and I can think about a play, and it's just gonna make me uncomfortable. Or I can just jam what seems like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, I commented that it seems like that helped you there because there was one turn for sure that I noticed that I think Breezy was subconsciously just trying to like keep pace as people usually do. And I think that caused him to play one turn a little too fast where he prepped and then Vilespined because he prepped and then he thought for a second. He was like, wait, what do I want to do with this? So
Yeah, it throws a lot of people off.
yeah, exactly. I think that worked out in your favor there.
And I'm terrible. If someone's playing really fast, I will rope every single turn. So it's just that little mind game. Since I'm not the strongest player skill-wise, I have to get that edge in somehow.
I mean, getting those percentage points however you can is, I mean, more power to you there.
Yeah, and hey, so far you are now 2-0 in UHL, so it can't all just be rope games. There is a method to the magic.
Maybe I'm not as terrible of a player as everyone seems to think.
Yeah, I think we're all our own worst critic, and if you've taught our audience anything today, is that you can play the decks you like and just navigate them well and still get the W at the end of the day. So, Toast, big thanks for coming on to talk to us, and congratulations on your win. And we are looking forward to seeing you up against Dirty Rod next week.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for casting this.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So, Appa, final thoughts for the match for the evening.
Did we want to get Breezy in here after?
Can we get Breezy in? We can do a Breezy. Yeah.
I think he was saying he wanted to get in here.
Okay. Let's pull him in.
All right.
And my Discord window gets even bigger and Appa's face disappears further into the Shadowverse.
Whoops.
Hey, Breezy.
Hello? Hey. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Well, we hear you loud and clear, man. So,
how's it going?
Well, it looked really good for you up until about game 3. So
yeah.
What happened?
I had the biggest feeling that rogue deck was going to be my downfall.
Mhm.
I did not get confident at all while playing. Like, I know I went up 2-0 and I was like, I just lost. Like, I just knew instantly because like rogue against Taunt Warrior and the Hunter was like going to be really difficult. So when I lost that first game, I was like, this is kind of bad.
That's kind of what we kind of saw the same thing happening. Just based on the lineup percentages, it was going to be an uphill climb for that rogue for sure.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny because while I was at work today, I was thinking in my head, I should really change that rogue deck to like Baku rogue.
Yeah.
Because it is not good against like a lot of decks. And I never really tested with the list, and I like realized how many minions I played as opposed to spells, and it just didn't work with Gadgetzin. So
yeah, there were a few turns in there where I pointed out I was like, well, we have this Gadgetzin and 6 minions.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So I think definitely amazing game. Like I had a lot of fun playing it. It was I mean I'm not playing the most skill based decks, Murloc Paladin, but still I had a lot of fun. The Tempo Road games were really fun, I thought I had it for a few moments in the Taunt Warrior one. Like, the one when I dropped the Edwin, I was like, okay, so I kind of lose to, I forgot what she played.
It's a Reckless Flurry and then a
Worgen. Yep. So I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. and then the Brawl, I knew she had the Brawl after the Acolyte, so...
Yeah, that's kind of the trap when you're playing against the quest warrior is it's that Falderai starts spawning spider after spider, but the brawl just gets that much better every time one pops out.
Yeah. But overall, had a lot of fun. It was definitely an excellent match, and congrats to Toast for winning.
Yeah, that was a great match to watch, like from both perspectives. Like seeing you go up 2-0. I think the Miracle Rogue definitely had game in pretty much all those games. The Face Hunter was kind of the most steamrolly, I guess, just because her draw was great and yours was pretty awkward.
Yeah.
But the Tempo Mage and the Baku Warrior, I think, had some solid game to them.
Not gonna lie, in the Baku one, for a quick second on my turn 4, I forgot that SI Agent costed 3 mana, and I was like, oh, I can just play. I tried to play a 2 mana, and then I was like, wait, why can't I play the SI? And I'm like,
Oh no.
Yeah, and then I was just kind of like, well, I just screwed up.
Yeah, that was super awk. I think you just went for a hero power at the end of that sequence.
Yeah. Yeah. But definitely lots of fun.
Yeah, just live and learn, and then just bring it back stronger for next week. If your next matches are any indication of how that was, I'm sure you'll be a fantastic player to watch as the season moves forward.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Any thoughts on your opponent next week?
Not gonna lie, no clue who it is.
I'd have to check the schedule myself. I was hoping you knew.
Yeah, a little behind of the game right now, so.
That's all right. Yeah, I think you kind of rushed in from home, from work, to get into the match. So, but you made it. So.
Yep.
All right, Breezy.
Okay.
You played it well enough. You brought it to a game 5. So, congrats on at least getting it that far. And we'll look forward to seeing you play it again next week.
All right. Well, it's been so much fun having you guys cast. You guys did a great job. I caught the end of it right after the game 5,
Great,
and you guys did an amazing job.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, I'll catch you guys later.
All right, Breezy.
All right, later.
See you guys.
All right, Appa. Final thoughts for the evening.
It was a great match, and I had a lot of fun casting. There was a lot of game going on there, I think, in that match, and a lot of stuff to point out that we didn't even really get to, just because the games go so quick.
Yeah.
It feels like games go by way quicker when you're casting as opposed to when you're watching.
Yeah, it's true. Like you watch a series and I kind of need a cup of coffee at the end of it, but after casting, I'm just energized. I want more matches. Are you listening, Blizz?
I definitely have more respect for the Blizzard sponsored casters and everything, because like they're so good at what they do, and like I'm trying to convey a thought, and then like it's already the dude's next turn. I'm like,
right,
oh,
yeah. So yeah, we jump in. We compliment each other well, though. Jumping in and catching up everybody on the stuff. But great matches once again. Game 5. I always like to see a 5-game series. Toast now 2-0 in the league in her conference. So
great start to the season, for sure.
Shaping up to be a great season. We've got plenty of more matches to go. I think I'm gonna do my due diligence after the fact. We forgot to do our necessary caster stuff. So first of all, if you want to support this program, this upstart esports organization / Hearthstone League, you can do that. You can go to patreon.com/UnitedHSLeague and check out what you can get in exchange for your support, your very generous support. Go check that out. And we need to shout out our very first shout out level patron, and that's Zeroshio from the Hero Power Podcast. Thanks, brother. You're helping make this a better place to be. I mean, look at these overlays.
Dude, great podcast. We appreciate the support a ton. Yeah. It's so much fun to do this.
Yeah, I mean, every week, every cast Appa, the production just gets that much better.
I know. Like this cast, we have these sick overlays now.
I know. So you want to help us get even better? Head on over to the Patreon and see what we have. And then on the calendar, let's check the calendar to see what else we have for matches this week. We almost certainly have one tomorrow. No, we don't have one tomorrow. But on Thursday, Andrew of the Happy Hearthstone versus Red Knight. That's going to be on Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. On Friday, Nate versus Ziggy, the one and only, at 8 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Central. And then on Saturday, your weekend is spiced up with a little bit of C Plumber versus Spyveer. That's domestic issues there, Appa. 1600 going at each other.
Hashtag UHL Civil War.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Fett, if you're watching, we need a Civil War Photoshop of Chris and Spivey.
We need Captain America and Bucky Barnes as the Winter Soldier.
Love it. All right, so come back real soon and watch those matches with us. I think I'm casting Andrew along with Brad. No, I'm casting Nate versus Ziggy along with Brasky, and Brasky, the golden voice of Team Hearth League. You're gonna love his cast if you haven't seen it before. And Appa, when is your next cast?
I believe it's Thursday.
You have the Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So the Thursday with Wicked Good for the Happy. Andrew is live. Andrew is living versus Red Knight. It's gonna be good stuff.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna be a good one. Like the most positive Hearthstone player of all time.
Oh man,
like,
Andrew is like you can't ask for his light. Right, is just so powerful.
Yeah.
He is truly the man for the job for the Happy Hearthstone. But come check out those casts. Appa and I are going to be there casting some of these matches. So come say hi once again. But for the rest of Team Hearth League, oh my God, I just did that. The rest of United Hearth League. Thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon.